That you?
Yes. There. And here. I was expecting Ikora's tone.
Right, I'm patching her in. Look, we left off on the wrong foot. And I know right before you run off with the Guardian to stomp Vex into dust ain't the best time. But I'm sick of counting seconds not taken for words that should have been said. Someday soon I'd like to clear the air. Just watch your back out there. House Archon's still at large. There's trouble brewing, and I think you're in the middle of it.
Where we need to be. I think the Vex seek the Nine, through a trace of their influence. Their operation is coiled wires, but with the Guardian, we can cut through. When they pushed out the house, they claimed a capsule of quantum threads. If we want to know why we were brought here, we need it.
You're a tad late for this skirmish. Or early. Either way, you must have seen the Vex going about their deterministic routines by now. They're dug in, and trying to assimilate everything around them. They mean to turn a sphere to a circle here, so to speak. We have an advantage, in that the Vex who are exposed to dark matter find themselves caught in a thick, yellow confusion. The presence of the Nine here resists Vex probing with dense air, but it's thinning. We need to address this. I haven't been able to get close enough for a detailed assessment, but you can.
Fire team, I'll be overseeing this operation. I want to stay focused and on task.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Nothing has changed. No matter who I was, I'm still Ikora Rey. Orin, status.
The Vex are watching this place. Rifles strung up in the cliffs. We need to break pottery, tear it down.
Orin's right. Perimeter scans show Vex signatures, and they've converted the old HCO networks into a sort of security lattice.
She's also right about tearing it down. Keep your focus on the present and find a way through. Without active surveillance, you'll be able to move through the surrounding canyons without tripping Vex security every 10 paces. Taking the Vex's security lattice offline revealed something, Guardian. There's a massive dampening field that extends to the area we know 3 is behind. It's a barrier to entry, but from these readings, that isn't its purpose. Rather, it's stopping anything from getting out.
I'm seeing that too. It's the same type of quarantine protocol the Vex use to close off damaged portions of their network.
They must want to prevent the singularity expanding too. But we'll need to remove it to get to 3.
I remember something else now. A hooked request. There's a message I'm to remember here. It feels like a decompression, like plugged ears. What I mean is the 9 are holding something back from me. I think I know. I remember, or will, to help.
The dampening field signal is coming from this direction, but it looks like there's a branching point.
I see it. They're disseminating a dampening signal to hundreds of frames. This is a code fix. They've recognized their vulnerability to the 9's energy and are adjusting.
I think we can get through here now. The signal's getting stronger, and it looks like I was wrong before. The dampening broadcast isn't emitting from one point, it's 3. Wait, there's something else. There's an old colonial research term that's still running from when the Ionians landed here. I didn't notice it until we were close, but it looks like the Vets are trying to access it.
Interesting. Let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Bring down the dampening broadcast, and in the chaos, we'll crush their incursion into the old colony systems.
Your plan is cracked knuckles. I like it. we're taking the direct route. Without you, Guardian, my steps would be mouse squeaks in the floorboard. I've always been more gauntlets and thunder.
We don't have time to be anything but gate crashers. It's the Guardian's forte anyway. If you're looking for quiet, Orin, come back to the city with us when this is over. Rebuild your life in your own hands.
This city sounds like bitter medicine. We'll see.
broadcasts are coming from those giant minotaurs. Stay low, Guardian. Look, another concentration of dark matter. Might help keep us out of harm's way. I'm detecting shield projectors nearby, but it's protected by a security lens. One step at a time, Guardian. This should help us get to the security lens.
Check their shields. The interference is dying down.
Let the Pine Lance splinter, Guardian! Charge!
Contact the Nine. Punch through that Vex interference.
I see. A flat vision of you, Guardian. A timely message. A globe spins below you. The planets above. An event into the encoded horizon. I see it. You. The message as a weapon. The weapon is the message. Fate forged. 9 hammer strikes ring. Scattered sparks. Cupped in hands. A weapon. Buried in the coals of the forge. I see a molten purity. Waiting to read the hammer strikes and direct the shock. No volition in given roles. Smoke. It's gone. Damn. Damn! I could almost see it.
You did great, Orin. Guardian. Seems like the Nine have their eyes on you, too.
Establishing uplink. Wait. These are detailed records of the collapse.
They catalogue the Nine's presence as much as the collapse. The Vex study seeds planted in the past to understand how the Nine wove plots around the paracausal.
This data is a playbook for emulating the Nine. Orin, do they know we would stop the Vex here?
Of course. They know that we'd need to move the Vex aside to reach the singularity. 3. Agency is a quantum indeterminate. Known hope. I remember they spoke like that.
I'm glad your head's clearing up. I quantum indeterminate that soon you'll be able to make more sense of this than I can.
Only the quarantine is between us and our answers. I can hear victory screaming like fire.
Lodi. The Guardian found an archive of analytical data the Ionians had recorded during the collapse. I think you deserve to see it.
Really? Miswrite that. That's incredible. Anything, and I mean anything that fills in the gaps between then and now would be mighty appreciated.
I think we're dealing with the inner orbits. Dangling an answer from a string is as clear as they get. Sun through Mars. The Nine are tethered by sentience and Sol's celestial bodies. They have a lot of time to bicker. The inner want to talk, the outer less so. It's an impasse.
So we're just swept up in the tides of a grand cosmic plan?
No. Placed. With intention. I, to mentor the new emissary. Drift has been used for years. The Guardian, something yet to be. And you, Ikora, arranged to hear the message you were promised.
I don't plan on being a sacrificial lamb for the Nine. Our destiny isn't up to some unknowable architect. It's ours.
Another lost enclave of humanity. It's incredible. After Neptune, I thought for sure there could be no more. I am rarely so glad to be wrong. We must establish ties with them. Do whatever you can, Guardian. But there is the problem of communication. Relying on Lodi troubles me, as helpful as he is. It would be better to be able to speak to them directly. Even one layer of translation can lose meaning, nuance. No need to mistrust him on my account.
How do you... There! Oh, Guardian! The Ionians were a huge help when I first arrived. I was disoriented. They helped me keep my feet on the ground. The Ionians are a society of scientists. I guess that's what happens when researchers end up on the outskirts of everything and stay there forever. Anyone you chat with will probably send you to the Dean. She nearly had a heart attack when I arrived. Called me anomaly blessed. They call you that too. Guardian, you've met Dean Rebecca. She's my rescuer, your host. She wants our help studying the Vex. I've only been able to get so far.
I'm not surprised. They're hostile on a good day.
They didn't seem to mind me getting close.
It's odd they didn't shoot you on sight.
The Dean would appreciate help bringing the activated Vex samples to Professor Viola.
Guardian, someone's on the line.
I have a favor to ask you, Guardian. It's about Lodi. Right now we have to rely on him, to translate, to guide. But it's too convenient. We find a perfectly suitable ally who just happened to arrive here a little before we did. The Ionians have been isolated. I wouldn't expect them to know about Guardians or the Traveler, for instance. But Lodi seemed taken aback to see Exo and Awoken in shared files. Even the Neomuni, sheltered though they were, had those baselines. Where did he come from? Something about him is stranger, even than present circumstances suggest. Earn his trust, Guardian. Perhaps he'll be more forthcoming with you. The language will have to come with time. But the things they know. If I could just understand now. One step at a time. I've been able to initiate dialogues here and there with the Ionians, not much. But better than nothing. They are patient. I suppose they would have to be. One of them repeated the same thing for me, 20 times at least. I couldn't quite understand something about the holy anomaly. And Lodi, maybe. I'll have to try again.
Kepler is two things at once. Suspiciously serendipitous, and deliberately challenging. It's like we were invited to a dinner and sat at our assigned seats without looking at the place cards. Someone wanted us all to meet. So where's the host?
That's from a Golden Age game called chess. I found a few pieces myself on Earth. It's a sure sign Nine got their eyes on you. I used to think they were telling us to be strategic, think it through, play the long game.
Sounds like there are more pieces reflecting the accord.
I'd sure like to know what they all mean. Wouldn't you? Do it, hero. Last time I found one of these pieces, I was having a hard time. Fixing to bug out of this orbit for good. And then what stopped me? Convinced me there was something left for me here after all. Figured they were secret clues to my place in the Nine's grand plan. Turns out, They were Ionian messages that never made it home. I've just been collecting undelivered mail this whole time. Even if they weren't meant for me, there's no doubt in my mind I was meant to deliver them. I'm glad they finally made it back home, where they belong. Just like me.
Scans are picking up a lot of moving radiolaria beneath the surface. Are they trying to assimilate Cannon?
Can't allow a Vex conversion to happen. Our own investigation aside, the Ionians call this place home.
We won't save them from the singularity just to lose them to the Vex. Crush the eye of the needle and the thread will choke.
The Vex here aren't split a faction. The Conductor is leading them.
Oh, Sundaresh. Her motives smack of unfinished business and desperation.
If she's here in person, it can't be good. Last we saw her, we learned how cruel she could be, even to her loved ones.
Guardian, that machine looks like another time-lost invitation. Similar to the one that empowered you before.
If the Nine want to give you power, who are we to refuse?
Oh, that's something. I can see you now. When you're all spherical like that, it's almost like a star in the sky. We're connected through a chain of dark matter. It's in everything.
If it's a chain linking to your enemies, use it to pull them apart.
A little violent, but if the situation calls for it.
That Vex mind was controlling the flow of radiolaria. Without it, their assimilation of Kepler will stall.
I know Maya Sundaresh and her schism. This shield was echinacea, an anti-paracausal shell. It's a spark of the Nine, derived from their power. I recognize its shallow anxiety. Kepler harbors their influence.
You aren't suggesting they're helping each other? The Conductor and the Nine?
No. This place has always been touched by the Nine. The Vex exploit it somehow. I can put this together, Ikora. I promise.
I thought most Vex malfunctioned when they were exposed to dark matter. But that new shielding incorporated it.
The Nine don't dabble in coincidence, and everything here is lining up too well. If the Vex are stealing power, the Nine are at least allowing it.
I'd rather not think of the implications of that.
You've lived too long to carbonate in guesses. This time was planned, but not for the Vex.
You've got me, 3. I'm paying attention now. I hate these even more. Focus, Ray. Here and now. You're entering the Vex exclusion zone, Guardian. Find how they're co-opting the Nine's power and put a stop to it.
Deep scans are picking up dark matter and deep mantle drilling. This place looks like a quarry geared towards mining out the anomaly's power.
So they're using 3 on the other side to strengthen their shields? We can't remove all the dark matter, but we can neutralize the threat long enough to push deeper into the canyons. I want this refinery in flames, Guardian.
Carrying a lot of energy, probably enough to shatter that conflict pipe. That should lower the barrier and let us out.
You are here. This is where they refine their power.
Wait, I'm picking up elite signatures. The House of Exile just ignited a glimmer drill.
One enemy force stealing the Nine's power is enough. Shut down their operation. Then deal with the Vex.
last of the exiles. Now for the Vex. Guardian, you're looking for a series of conversion engines tied to Conquest husks.
Like I said, Guardian. Leave it in flames.
That's the last converter. Refine it. Whatever. The Vex can't convert any more Guardian. Wait. Vex mine incoming!
The Overseer, who holds Hourglass Sands.
I bet they break just the same.
The Titan in me is blushing.
Our weapons won't work.
You'll need the Nine's power to punch through.
would the Vex need the Nine for shielding? I've seen them in it for phase through time to dodge an attack.
Against something paracausal, that phasing is a coin flip. The fourth dimension doesn't have that hindrance.
Knowing the Nine can subvert our agency is bad enough. But you're saying they can predict futures the Vex can't?
The Vex find a future that suits them. The Nine engineer one through. Intermediaries and pressure.
Surely they follow some rules.
Ikora, I know what it feels like to have your autonomy brushed aside. That woman is dead, and Lodi worked hard to protect her memory. But in the eyes of the Nine, you exist simultaneously. A constant.
Stop, Orin. These borders matter. I know who I am. Maya's Vex co-opting Nine energy is a bad sign. Even if you don't think they're working together.
I remember her, but her transformation is a blind spot. What happened that turned her into the conductor?
A fragment of paracausal power touched down on Nessus, and one of her simulations rose out of the Vex net and claimed it. Originally, she was looking for her wife, Chioma, but the Vex she co-opted began to change, to individualize.
She will not find her wife here, but she will find a being who knows.
That's strange. Some of the radiolaria in the Vex down here is reading as being from, well, not our timeline. They're trying to wall off our path. We'll have to push through some familiar territory to reach the mind maintaining the dampening field.
If the Guardian dismantles it, we'll have enough Strangelet capsules to safely reach the Singularity.
And Three's on the other side with our message. One step closer to an answer. One last leap of faith. If Maya can already manipulate time, why all this friction?
Unlike the Nine, they're bound by their dimension. Chronal flow applies to all. Time moves forward, never backward. I want answers too, Ikora. We're simultaneous.
Like we're about to hit resistance. Get ready.
Resistance? You have reached an end, little ghost. Seeking to avert a catastrophe after the fact. You will wear yourself dull from battle before it ever cuts deep enough to draw blood. But you will try.
It's an ambush, Sergeant. Take cover. Place to lock us in. Clear a path and let's look for a way to disable those barriers.
Along. Do they always get the future they determine?
Time is chord notation, the known possible scale of everything. But if the tone is set, why scheme against fate? Still, the Nine try, don't they?
cores have variance to a degree. Tell me your directions in a range.
You're catching on. The Titan in me misses helping people. The city might do me some good.
I'm glad to hear you consider it. You can help us retake Seoul. Start small. Maybe Chicago. Heavy Vex presence ahead. They're trading fire with an Exile raiding party.
But thankfully, no giant minotaurs.
The Archon must be using us as a distraction to breach the Vex quarantine.
Too bad they crossed paths with you, Guardian.
Guardian, destroying that break deactivated a nearby exile signal. I think they have sealed off one of these buildings.
Door in waiting. A bridge across space.
No. There's remnants of Elixir technological signatures in the assimilated architecture here. The house must have been right on top of the anomaly before the Vex pushed them out.
The Archon's been trying to get back in ever since. It makes me think they'll make a push once we bring down the dampening field.
We'll need to be ready. But right now, we kill the noise. Kill the noise and hear our answers. Relic? A hook? I haven't felt this since I was emissary. What if the Nine want to speak?
Quitter. Is that you, Buttercup? Release me from those filthy, fleshy hands.
No. My hand resigned a broken contract.
Orin, what's happening?
An unthinkable glimpse. An order. Drawing pinpoint aversion.
No, too cryptic, Quitter. You want to know how we saved you. Your big ball never tell you that. You are flimsy. For me to stay and burn a while, I'll need the one with the fetching fermions.
Ugh! Gunsmoke, stop! Speak to me, not through me. It's my will. Mine.
Quitting didn't take fully?
It did. It's me, I'm me. Those tethers I mentioned still stick to my skin.
Maya really thought she was inevitable. She wouldn't be trying to stop us. Push through.
Scrambled by a Vex disruption signal. Follow the cabling and we should find the source. These old human colonial outposts have been here for a long time. I wonder what they were researching before they captured this.
This is not a conversation. You're only meant to listen. How readily you obey fate. A leader without agency. A discarded puppet wrapped in her wires. And the weapon. Guardian, the Nine flatter you and themselves. But my enemies do not threaten me, because I do not allow it. I command their passivity. They cannot raise their weapons.
I will drag the past to us if I must. That's her plan, isn't it? She knows the Nine can do things the Vex can't.
Precipitous moments. Her tone will change soon.
Yes, it will.
Il-9 crowding the corners of my cortex. Don't let them in. They'll burn through any non-emissary.
There it is, Guardian. That Vex mine has the capsule we need. I don't care what Maya says. We're on her doorstep and she feels it.
I've had enough of this wall in my brain. I'm looking forward to seeing it crumble.
The mine's defenses are linked to a series of shielded confluxes. I bet we can take it out with this.
Of my cortex. Don't let them in. They'll burn through any non-emissary.
There it is, Guardian. That Vex mine has the capsule we need. I don't care what Maya says. We're on her doorstep and she feels it.
I've had enough of this wall in my brain. I'm looking forward to seeing it crumble.
The mine's defenses are linked to a series of shielded confluxes. I bet we can take it out with this. be the final Strangelet capsule. We did it. The quarantine field is failing.
We just detected shockwave from the singularity.
My connection is still tethered. Ikora, I'm letting 9 in. Talk to me to talk to them.
We have questions.
Commander, answers later. Bask. Perihelion around my maypole. But I do have a message for the weapon to be. Guardian, we knew salt water would evaporate. Missiles aping at solar flares would collide. Humanity was destined to burn. Free and I, well, we looked at the Valley of Unknown Space. We saw our nature would nurture the conditions for uppercase light. Your resurrection was enabled by our hand for this purpose. Your mind will reach the beyond and know the way. For this you were positioned, set into orbit. This and 3's message to come. Always loved warming your armor, Sunshine.
The well is dry. I have no more answers. I'm sorry.
Wait, so the 9 are saying they planned for me to raise the Guardian?
We are not pawns. We determine our choices, not them. Let's get to the Altar of Relativity and get answers from 3 ourselves.
My will is my own. It's as frightening as it is freeing. Don't misunderstand me. I didn't choose to be a Lightbearer. I did choose to be an emissary. And I chose to leave. I don't miss either life. I choose to bear truth. To share fragments I've stowed away from beyond the borders of known